Imagine you're at a party and someone you know offers you a pill. They say it's fine to take and will make you feel good. What could go wrong?
My friends and I are super close. We're at each other's houses like every weekend. One time, Katie brought a bottle of her dad's pills to my house. She thought it would be fun to take some and make dance videos. We all said no way, but then Katie convinced us to try it. I figured they were legit since they came from a doctor. It's not like buying heroin on the street corner. We each took one, and after 15 minutes, we felt a rush that made it really fun to do the dance videos. After a while, I felt pretty nauseous and really tired. When I woke up in the morning, we watched the videos and I couldn't stop thinking about how much fun I had and how the pill made me feel. I really wanted to do it again, so we did the next weekend. This time we didn't feel the same rush, and Katie got really sick the next day. She couldn't focus at school that week. But I felt fine, so she gave me the pills. I took them a bunch of times over the next month. I knew I should stop, but when I tried, I felt even worse.
Let's look at what's happening in Haley's body when she takes the opioids.
We felt a rush that made it really fun to do the dance videos. So prescription opioids can attach the receptors of the brain that makes us feel good. After a while, I felt pretty nauseous and really tired. Opioids don't affect the receptors that make us feel good. They don't always do that. They also affect nerve cells that control other parts of the body, such as the stomach and muscles. Therefore, opioids can make a person feel really, really sick, tired, or confused. I figured they were legit because they came from a doctor. It's not like buying heroin or street drugs. When opioids are prescribed by a doctor, it is for a specific reason and for a specific purpose. Because they change the way the brain works and they're highly addictive, there are not as many dangerous risks as someone taking opioids if they were not prescribed, or in a way that other than what is written on the prescription. We took them again this next weekend. The next weekend, this time we didn't get the same rush, and Katie got really sick. And when a person uses more opioids, the brain becomes physically dependent on them. The same dose doesn't produce as much of a rush. And when the opioids are no longer in your system, there are also fewer chemicals that help us feel happy and positive. As a result, the person may feel sick, depressed, lethargic, or unmotivated. I knew I should stop, but when I tried, I felt even worse. When a person misuses prescription opioids, his or her brain becomes physically dependent on them, and as they become more dependent, they experience worse side effects when they stop taking the drug.
Haley thought that taking prescription pills was dangerous as taking heroin. But heroin and prescription opioids affect the body the same way, so she became physically dependent on the prescription opioids in the same way she might have if she had used heroin. Why did this happen? Prescription opioids are chemically very similar to heroin. In fact, many prescription opioids come from the same plant as heroin. Both prescription opioids and heroin can produce a rush of positive feelings and relaxation because they trigger the brain's reward centers. Both of them can also produce unpleasant effects, such as nausea, itching, confusion, and fatigue. Because prescription opioids and heroin affect the body and brain in the same way, people can develop physical dependence on both. Repeated misuse of opioids can lead to loss of appetite, fatigue, and depression. It's possible to overdose on both types of opioids too. Overdosing on opioids can cause difficulty breathing, seizures, coma, and often death. There are approximately 144 drug overdose deaths per day in the United States, and recent statistics show that just over 63% of those deaths are related to pharmaceutical opioids or heroin.